Xiao Chen approached the saber light of the one-eyed man. 6 afterimages trailed behind him. Suddenly, the afterimages converged, unleashing a brilliant saber light from the lunar shadow saber and greatly enhancing Xiao Chen's presence. Contrary to the one-eyed man's expectations, when their sabers clashed, it wasn't Xiao Chen who was thrown back, but the one-eyed man in a sorry state. An opening emerged in the encirclement, prompting Xiao Chen to cautiously slip out, returning to the rooftop where he had previously stood. Witnessing this, the Feng clan's clan head below was astonished. An inner sect disciple not only remained unscathed but also managed to eliminate one of the 7 Black Wind Killers, showcasing unimaginable strength. Perplexed, the Feng clan's clan head murmured, "Strange, I'm familiar with the top inner sect disciples of the 5 major sects, but a white-robed bladesman is unknown to me. When did this person appear?" Another person nearby expressed hope that they might be saved, but the clan head remained cautious, stating that the 7 Black Wind Killers were formidable. He speculated that the first victim likely died due to carelessness. The one-eyed man, now composed, wore a cold expression with a sinister smile as he led the remaining 5 to launch another attack. The command to kill was followed by 6 berserk killing chi merging, creating a seemingly tumultuous sea of blood. Xiao Chen, feeling a slight dizziness, pondered the gruesome question of how many lives this group had taken to generate such an overwhelming baleful aura. Insufficient mental energy would cause an average cultivator to crumble under the overwhelming malevolent aura, making loose cultivators notoriously challenging. Xiao Chen's expansive mental energy in his consciousness sea began mobilizing, dispelling the discomfort. Maintaining composure, Xiao Chen gripped his saber with one hand, facing 6 oncoming assailants. In the dark night, saber lights and sword images illuminated the surroundings, collapsing buildings in the intense skirmish. Except for the one-eyed man, the 7 Black Wind Killers struggled with Xiao Chen's potent quintessence within his saber light. With each exchange, Xiao Chen's saber shattered the quintessence on their weapons, transforming into a concealed force flowing into their bodies. The longer the battle, the more pronounced the sensation became. 2 of the weaker Black Wind Killers couldn't endure, blood staining their lips. Despite continuous attacks, Xiao Chen's robust quintessence nullified the majority of the opposing force. Utilizing his formidable physical body, Xiao Chen absorbed the remaining force, unaffected by the pressure, except for the one-eyed man's challenging attacks. A concerned Black Wind Killer speculated about falling into a trap, suspecting Xiao Chen's potential as a peak figure in the inner sect. Experienced in assessing situations, the 7 Black Wind Killers, upon encountering true experts, preferred retreat. One killer, finding it challenging, contemplated withdrawing and shared his thoughts with the one-eyed man. The one-eyed man sternly warned against fleeing, recognizing the risks but insisting on eliminating Xiao Chen for the advancement in ranks via the spirit-gathering pearls. Left with no choice, the others awaited Xiao Chen to exhaust himself. Unfazed, Xiao Chen calmly blocked incoming attacks, observing the injured few leaking blood from the hidden force, calculating the opportune moment for his decisive action. Swift and resolute, he refrained from making a move, planning to turn the situation around when the time was right. Pukai. After 100 more moves, 3 among the 7 Black Wind Killers simultaneously regurgitated blood, revealing accumulated hidden injuries that erupted forcefully. Xiao Chen's eyes shone brightly, a peculiar light flashing as he observed the trio. He smirked coldly but refrained from hastily initiating any action. "Big brother, this fellow didn't fall for it. What's our plan?" one of them inquired. "He's not a naive youngster. He's experienced and aware," came the response. The trio voiced their grievances to the one-eyed man. The one-eyed man's left eye had turned entirely red, the missing right eye presenting a more gruesome sight with the wound gaping open. Scarlet blood flowed continuously, transforming the once ugly countenance into that of a malevolent spirit. "I still refuse to believe we can't handle him. Burn your quintessence. Let's finish him in one go." The one-eyed man conveyed this to the others, causing anxiety as it meant sacrificing their means of retreat. Failing to defeat Xiao Chen would leave them without the chance to escape. Just as the remaining 7 Black Wind Killers hesitated, Xiao Chen, who had been passively defending, suddenly took action. Unleashing his 60% comprehended saber intent without restraint, the long, slender saber emitted a beautiful glow resembling a blossoming flower in the dark night. Xiao Chen's saber trembled, producing a melodious hum. All the bladesmen in Dingshui City awoke and rushed out of their houses, regardless of whether they were deep asleep or cultivating. Kill! Echoed as Xiao Chen, with scarlet eyes, unleashed his peak state of massacre. Despite being accustomed to bloodshed, the 7 Black Wind Killers unexpectedly felt fear when they saw Xiao Chen appearing as sharp as a saber. In the dark night, electricity leapt, and thunder roared as Xiao Chen, in a sudden burst of movement, struck the one-eyed man with a single blow. Ignoring the one-eyed man, Xiao Chen targeted the most severely injured individual. His saber light danced in the pitch-dark night, releasing 7 saber images, each dividing into 3, creating an unrelenting onslaught. Purple electricity surrounded each saber image, resembling a vast sea of lightning surging towards the opponent. Dang! 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 Resonated in the intense confrontation. In a crucial moment, the individual displayed remarkable reflexes, wielding his sword 21 times to parry all illusory saber images. However, his quintessence's purity couldn't match Xiao Chen's. With each block, he spat out blood, and after 21 attacks, his complexion turned ashen. Yet, Xiao Chen's Sea of Lightning Saber Light Chop had more to offer. The perceived Sea of Lightning exploded, fatally blasting the opponent. The remaining 5 were taken aback by Xiao Chen's precise timing, capitalizing on the opportunity accurately. Earlier, Xiao Chen avoided intentional openings and struck when they hesitated. Despite being a recent sect disciple, his combat experience surpassed theirs. Come out! Frustrated by another comrade's demise, the one-eyed man wielded his saber with both hands, unleashing pure quintessence light at the vast sea of lightning. Despite the one-eyed man's swift movements, Xiao Chen, hidden in the sea of lightning, proved faster. When the one-eyed man's sharp saber light clashed with the sea of lightning, an even sharper and more resplendent saber light emerged. Like a meteor in the dark night, it swiftly struck, causing deep cuts on the necks of the remaining 7 Black Wind Killers, instantly killing them. The saber emerging from the sea of lightning outshone even a bright meteor. Those 4 didn't comprehend their demise, and surprisingly, the surviving one-eyed man was clueless as well. He witnessed a sea of lightning opening up, a white figure flashing by, instantly killing 4 of his group. Chasing Xiao Chen's figure with his eye, the one-eyed man spotted him 200 meters ahead. Blood dripped from the white figure's saber blade, the afterimage's saber intent still buzzing. Fear overwhelmed the one-eyed man. Without thinking, he sheathed his saber and fled desperately, wanting to distance himself from that white figure. As a loose cultivator, he wasn't afraid of death but wished to avoid an inexplicable demise like the other 4, not even witnessing how Xiao Chen attacked. Unhurriedly turning around, Xiao Chen looked at the fleeing one-eyed man, a grim smile on his lips against the night sky. Roar! 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 3 dragon roars echoed from Xiao Chen's chest, and 3 azure dragon images appeared below his feet, lifting him into the air. They swiftly caught up with the one-eyed man in 3 breaths. As I mentioned, I want to borrow your head. With a saber swing, Xiao Chen knocked the one-eyed man, defending himself, to the ground, collapsing a nearby tall building. Relentless, Xiao Chen executed the 4-season saber technique, Fated Person in Autumn Waters. A gentle saber light, akin to a sorrowful girl softly complaining, struck the one-eyed man. He felt an autumn wind, as if a young girl had gently caressed his chest, followed by a bloody, bowl-sized hole appearing at a vital spot. The one-eyed man, dissatisfied, looked at the chest wound, then pointed at Xiao Chen. You're definitely not an inner sect disciple of the Supreme Sky Sect. The notorious 7 Black Wind Killers, leading unrestrained lives, all perished. The Feng clan fell silent as they witnessed the white-robed bladesman slowly descending, evoking indescribable astonishment among the clan members. Who is this person? Surprisingly, he managed to kill the 7 Black Wind Killers by himself. The 7 Black Wind Killers wreaked havoc in the 18 southern provinces, swift as the wind. They looted, killed, plundered, burned, and snatched, committing atrocities for a long time. Unexpectedly, they all met their end at the hands of this youth. His saber intent is remarkably potent. There are few in the 18 provinces of the south with a stronger saber intent than this young bladesman's. When that saber intent emerged, I almost lost control of my own saber. The gazes of the many bladesmen who had leapt out upon hearing the sword hum filled with astonishment. Ignoring the discussions and stares, Xiao Chen gathered the bodies of the 7 black wind killers in one spot and decapitated them. These heads would serve as proof of completion when he returned to the Supreme Sky Sect. He then extracted the spatial rings from the 7 bodies. Loose cultivators typically led a transient lifestyle, not accumulating much wealth. However, this group had recently plundered 2 clans, suggesting they might possess valuable items. After completing these tasks, Xiao Chen rode an azure dragon image and landed beside the Feng clan's clan head. Holding out the mission documents, he said, "You must be the one who issued the mission to the Supreme Sky Sect. Please place your handprint here." The Feng clan's clan head seemed somewhat absent-minded, still grappling with the disbelief that the feared 7 black wind killers were now deceased. After Xiao Chen's reminder, he took the mission document and placed his handprint on it. He performed a cupped fist salute, expressing gratitude. "Many thanks to young hero for your help. The Feng clan is unable to return such a favor. You honor me too much. I have already obtained their wealth and their heads. It's merely eliminating a threat to society," Xiao Chen replied with a gentle smile, returning the cupped fist salute before taking his leave. His white figure gradually vanished from everyone's sight, blending into the night. Xiao Chen arrived under the cover of night and departed in the same manner. He came and went like the wind, leaving no trace. The darkness of the night remained unchanged, with only the 7 headless corpses on the ground silently bearing witness to his actions. After some time, when the onlookers had dispersed, 2 figures with formidable auras flew into the city from a distance. Observing the 7 headless corpses, they exchanged glances, a sense of disappointment evident. Both wore sky-blue robes, and the person on the right carried a sword at their waist, while the one on the left had a pair of twin sabers on their back. Recognizable by the insignia on their clothes, they belonged to the Rising Sky Pavilion. These inner sect disciples, Wang Feng and Lu Feihu, had high status within the sect. Dingshui City, situated near the border of Supreme Sky Province and White Feather Province, had experienced governance from both provinces. Known for its chaos, the city attracted loose cultivators seeking places with unclear governance. Observing the scene, Lu Feihu remarked, "Senior brother Wang, it appears we arrived too late. Someone else has already dealt with the 7 black wind killers." The Rising Sky Pavilion had a mission to eliminate the 7 black wind killers, notorious troublemakers. The reward for this mission was substantial, comparable to what the Supreme Sky Sect offered. Wang Feng and Lu Feihu, being among the peak of the Rising Sky Pavilion's inner sect, had hastily accepted this mission upon receiving news of the 7 black wind killers' activities. Unexpectedly, they had arrived too late. Wang Feng whispered to himself. After a moment of silence, a sinister glint flickered in his eyes. He commented, "The blood from their wounds hasn't coagulated yet. This person is probably still nearby. The city's residents should have witnessed what happened." Lu Feihu swiftly grasped Wang Feng's implication. Having long emerged from the sect, this wasn't their first experience in such situations. The duo acted decisively, promptly seeking out another cultivator to extract the details of the incident from him. After the 2 listened to his account, looks of disbelief colored their eyes. Lu Feihu expressed skepticism, saying, "It's implausible. I've never heard of an inner sect disciple easily dispatching the 7 black wind killers. Even if he were one of the Supreme Sky Sect's 5 experts, I might be inclined to believe it. After all, those 5 are on the brink of becoming true inheritors." Wang Feng, still uncertain, hesitated before sharing his perspective. The 7 black wind killers have endured for a considerable time, but their cultivations aren't significantly higher than ordinary inner sect disciples. After all, loose cultivators possess limited resources, definitely less than sect disciples. Instead, loose cultivators boast strong baleful auras and rich combat experience. With these factors, inner sect disciples who have just emerged from the sect wouldn't have any advantage over them. Lu Feihu wasn't oblivious. He immediately understood Wang Feng's point. You mean this person might be a lower realm genius with deep resources and a killing chi and combat experience no weaker than Lu's cultivators? Wang Feng nodded affirmatively, saying, that's right. This is the only possibility. He didn't defeat the 7 Black Wind Killers solely based on his cultivation. So, he will surely not be a match for us. This person definitely has to take the transportation formation from Sky Mound City. We just need to ambush him along the route he must take to get there. Xiao Chen, who had left the city, remained oblivious to the fact that 2 peak inner sect disciples of the Rising Sky Pavilion were targeting him. Currently, anticipation filled Xiao Chen as he systematically opened the 7 Black Wind Killers' spatial rings. Besides some formidable bandits, Lu's cultivators generally didn't amass much wealth due to the risks associated with their lifestyle. This was easily understandable. If they had substantial resources, they wouldn't need to perilously plunder others. Additionally, since Lu's cultivators weren't affiliated with any sects, medicinal pill prices were considerably higher for them. For example, in the Supreme Sky Sect, one spent only 50,000 superior-grade spirit stones for an inferior-grade quintessence gathering pill, but outside, the price would exceed 200,000 superior-grade spirit stones. Even the spirit-gathering pearls provided by the sect were prized treasures for Lu's cultivators. Despite having sufficient spirit stones, procuring them was a challenging task. Living hand-to-mouth, Lu's cultivators spent whatever resources they had, aware that they could perish at any moment. However, exceptions existed. Occasionally, there would be reports of someone killing a Lu's cultivator and unexpectedly obtaining a fortune. Yet, such an occurrence seemed improbable for Xiao Chen. Out of the 7 spatial rings, he had already examined 6, finding nothing extraordinary. Admittedly, there were a few thousand-year-old spirit herbs valued at several thousand superior-grade spirit stones, along with numerous yellow and profound ranked martial techniques. Considering the circumstances, Xiao Chen concluded that these represented the loot they obtained and divided after robbing the 2 prominent clans in Dingshui City. Given the city's size and location, one could imagine the accumulated wealth of the 4 major clans. The only silver lining was that all 6 rings contained a substantial amount of superior-grade spirit stones, totaling more than 100,000. This windfall provided some respite for Xiao Chen's financial predicament, as he had used most of his superior-grade spirit stones to purchase quintessence gathering pills. Finally, Xiao Chen turned his attention to the last spatial ring, belonging to the one-eyed man, the group's leader and the strongest among them. It's probable that the one-eyed man possessed more wealth than the other 6 combined. With eager anticipation, Xiao Chen employed his spiritual sense to inspect the last spatial ring. A swift scan provided a rough idea of its contents: over 200,000 superior-grade spirit stones, more than 20 inferior-grade spirit-gathering pearls, 1 inferior-grade quintessence gathering pill, and a peak medicinal pill capable of instantly replenishing quintessence. Xiao Chen couldn't help but smile faintly, finding solace in some profit. In total, he gained 400,000 superior-grade spirit stones, and the unexpected bonus of 20 inferior-grade spirit-gathering pearls proved invaluable. Given his current shortage of these pearls, they became a crucial asset, as their surging spiritual energy could accelerate his cultivation. Superior-grade spirit stones, on the other hand, served primarily as currency. After organizing everything, Xiao Chen reflected on the earlier battle as he journeyed, identifying areas for improvement. It was his first attempt using the final attack of the Sea of Lightning Saber Light Chop against multiple adversaries, and the results surpassed his expectations. He concluded that this technique was likely an inferior-grade heaven-ranked martial technique, with a lower grade than Return of the Azure Dragon but similar effects and less quintessence depletion. Xiao Chen envisioned using the Sea of Lightning Saber Light Chop as his finishing move, reserving Return of the Azure Dragon as a trump card. Recognizing the continuous potential for improvement inherent in a heaven-ranked martial technique, Xiao Chen contemplated its future enhancements. Muttering to himself, he remarked, "Currently, I can only utilize 30% of the Sea of Lightning Saber Light Chop. There's considerable room for improvement. However, the name could use a makeover. When I find the time, I should choose a more appealing name. Originally titled Sea of Fire Sword Light Chop, then changed to Sea of Lightning Saber Light Chop, Xiao Chen found the current name rather ordinary. Despite appearing relaxed on the surface, he remained engrossed in mental simulations, exploring various alterations to enhance the Sea of Lightning Saber Light Chop. 4 days later, the majestic Skymound city entered Xiao Chen's view, prompting an involuntary acceleration in his pace. As he traversed a familiar forest, a slight frown appeared on his face. He had passed through this forest on his way to Skymound City before. It was an unavoidable part of the journey. Despite lacking strong spirit beasts, only hosting ordinary birds and beasts, there logically should be no danger. However, an unmistakable sense of killing intent had gripped him earlier, swiftly vanishing and expertly concealed. Relying on his unwavering confidence in his senses, Xiao Chen unleashed his spiritual sense to scan the forest. Strange, I clearly sensed killing intent earlier. Why can't my spiritual sense detect anything now? He pondered, withdrawing his spiritual sense with a suspicious expression. In the Kunlun realm, where cultivators faced increased suppression, flying slowed their pace and consumed more quintessence compared to the lower realm. Unless faced with a critical situation, most cultivators refrained from prolonged flights. After a moment of contemplation, Xiao Chen decided to proceed with his initial plan. Despite potential danger, Xiao Chen possessed the ability to swiftly take flight, showcasing both humility about his standing in his generation and confidence in his exceptional speed. Contemplating an encounter with a martial sage or someone nearing that level, he acknowledged the futility of attempting to flee from such formidable opponents. Navigating a narrow forest path, Xiao Chen maintained his usual calm demeanor while vigilantly scanning his surroundings with spiritual sense. The Kunlun realm's unique and intelligent bird species rested on trees lining the path, contributing to the serene atmosphere. However, the apparent normalcy heightened Xiao Chen's caution, prompting the rapid circulation of his 99 pearly drops of quintessence in preparation for potential threats. Suddenly, the ground behind him cracked open, revealing 2 figures with a sharp killing intent that startled the resting birds, causing them to take flight. The first cultivator wielded twin sabers, generating a storm-like aura that decimated surrounding trees, while the second, wielding an ordinary-looking 1.3-meter-long sword, appeared plain in contrast. Despite their disparate appearances, both moved in tandem to lock onto Xiao Chen with lethal intent, signaling their intent to defeat him swiftly. Unfazed, Xiao Chen, accustomed to monitoring his surroundings with spiritual sense, quickly identified openings in their coordination and analyzed the situation to choose a course of action that allowed him to retreat with minimal harm. Without excessive hesitation, he decisively drew his saber, unleashing a dazzling light fueled by the pre-circulated quintessence. "Ka Xie!" exclaimed Xiao Chen as he swiftly turned, intercepting the unadorned sword with his own. Despite its simplicity, the attack carried a surprisingly formidable force. The clash generated energy ripples that surged outward, upheaving and pulverizing nearby trees into a fine powder. A vast dust cloud emerged, merging with the one created by the twin saber cultivator, causing chaos and diminishing visibility. Xiao Chen's arm tingled, marveling at the swordsman's strength. Yet, the unfolding situation matched his expectations, keeping fear at bay. Using Roaming Dragon's 9 transformations, Xiao Chen left behind a clone and leapt into the dust cloud. Inside, the twin saber cultivator, seeing the clone, unleashed a torrent of chaotic attacks. In an instant, the twin sabers produced over 100 saber lights, tearing the clone apart. Witnessing the result, the cultivator cursed, realizing he had fallen for a trick. Once the dust settled, Wang Feng and Lu Feihu of the Rising Sky Pavilion observed their surroundings. A kilometer away, Xiao Chen stood on a tree branch, calmly watching them. Despite their elaborate preparations, the two were surprised by Xiao Chen's escape. On the tree branch, Xiao Chen assessed their cultivation levels. The swordsman was a middle-stage medial-grade martial monarch, and the twin saber cultivator slightly weaker at early-stage medial-grade martial monarch. Xiao Chen, noting the significant strength increase in the Kunlun realm, frowned. Facing 2 medial-grade martial monarchs posed a real challenge. Recognizing the insignia on their chests, Xiao Chen coldly addressed them, "People from the Rising Sky Pavilion? I believe we have no grudge, so why obstruct me?" Lu Feihu smirked, revealing they sought the heads of the 7 Black Wind Killers for their contribution ranking. Wang Feng calmly added, "Hand over the heads, and you can keep the treasures." Similar to the mission hall in the Supreme Sky Sect, the Rising Sky Pavilion also had a contribution ranking. Climbing to the top meant a substantial reward. Before this reward was mentioned, the 2 representatives from the Rising Sky Pavilion dismissed the meager wealth of the 7 Black Wind Killers. Upon hearing Wang Feng casually suggest surrendering the hard-earned heads, Xiao Chen couldn't help but chuckle hoarsely. "I have a message for you too. Leave quickly. If the Supreme Sky Sect discovers your atrocious behavior, fleeing won't be easy even if you sprout wings," he warned. Lu Feihu responded with a sinister smile, asserting, "You can only talk about returning alive if you manage to do so." Ready to attack, he was halted by Wang Feng. Having engaged in a prior exchange with Xiao Chen, Wang Feng, despite being an inferior-grade martial monarch, sensed he wasn't ordinary. Smiling faintly, Wang Feng proposed, "Sell us the heads you have. 7 heads for 70,000 superior-grade spirit stones." Xiao Chen replied straightforwardly, "I'm sorry, I have no shortage of spirit stones." Lu Feihu, frustrated by the rejection, exclaimed heatedly, "He rejects our respect. What's the point of talking nonsense with him?" He leapt into the air, launching an immediate attack. Wang Feng's expression soured. He believed he had shown enough respect. To his surprise, Xiao Chen seemed to overrate himself. These were medial-grade martial monarchs, one of them in the middle stage, and peak intersect disciples of a rank 8 sect. Calculating the odds, Xiao Chen realized a direct confrontation would only give him a 50% chance of victory. Furthermore, even if he won, it would be a hard-earned success. As an inferior-grade martial monarch who hadn't consumed the quintessence gathering pill, he lacked an advantage. Yet, Lu Feihu's underestimation hinted at a slim chance. Deciding quickly, Xiao Chen pushed off a tree branch and retreated. In response, Lu Feihu swiftly hacked the large tree beneath Xiao Chen into several segments with his twin sabers. Amidst the forest, saber chi scattered, toppling trees as chaos unfolded. Lu Feihu's pursuit of Xiao Chen intensified, launching unrestrained attacks and gradually narrowing the gap between them. With a series of refined saber maneuvers, Lu Feihu cut off all avenues of escape for Xiao Chen. Laughing loudly, he taunted, "You stinking brat, let's see where you can run now." A feigned expression of horror flashed in Xiao Chen's eyes as he retreated urgently, skillfully wielding his saber to block the onslaught. Observing Xiao Chen's face, Lu Feihu grew even more self-satisfied, internally dismissing Xiao Chen as someone weak putting on a facade. The clash reached its zenith when Lu Feihu's twin sabers struck the pitch-black blade of the lunar shadow saber. A surge of berserk saber intent and quintessence overwhelmed Xiao Chen, causing him to spit out blood and fly backward in a sorry state. Witnessing this, Lu Feihu coldly gloated, "Understand regret now? It's too late to think you're extraordinary just because you're a Supreme Sky Sect disciple." Advancing forcefully, Lu Feihu drove Xiao Chen backward, preventing any chance of retaliation. Wang Feng, witnessing the unfolding scene, initially felt surprise. However, after some contemplation, he revealed a smile of realization, saying, "So that's what's going on. I almost fell for this brat's act." In the initial exchange, Xiao Chen concealed significant injuries, enduring them forcefully. He attempted to use the Supreme Sky Sect as a bluff to avoid handing over the 7 Black Wind Killers' heads. However, Lu Feihu's relentless attacks exposed the ruse. Realizing this, Wang Feng relaxed, no longer shadowing Lu Feihu closely but adopting a leisurely pace. Lu Feihu's relentless onslaught intensified, pushing Xiao Chen into a pitiful state where he struggled to cope. Massive trees in the vicinity toppled like toy building blocks, scattering in all directions. Despite appearing to block miserably with his lunar shadow saber, Xiao Chen meticulously calculated and evaluated every opening in Lu Feihu's attacks. As he considered his options, Xiao Chen found flaws in each potential move. Some openings were too small, risking a swift counter from Lu Feihu, while others left him with little room to retreat after injuring his opponent. Circulating his energies, Xiao Chen spat out blood once more, his complexion growing even paler. Despite the challenges, he maintained a composed demeanor, patiently waiting for the opportune moment. Lu Feihu, wielding his twin sabers with a surge of quintessence, knocked Xiao Chen to the ground. Observing Xiao Chen's struggle to stand, Lu Feihu laughed maniacally, dropping his guard as he approached step by step. Wang Feng, on the sidelines, wore a sinister smile, convinced that Xiao Chen had finally exhausted himself. Amidst this apparent weakness, Xiao Chen seized the moment. As Lu Feihu closed in, Xiao Chen, seemingly feeble and drained, suddenly soared into the air. He unleashed 7 saber images, seamlessly merging quintessence and a thunderous state in each attack. The 7 saber images then multiplied into 21, forming a dazzling chain of brilliant saber lights accompanied by roaring thunder. Xiao Chen's momentum surged to its peak, catching Lu Feihu off guard. The 21 lifelike saber images exuded formidable might, making it impossible to underestimate their power. Crucially, Lu Feihu had just let his guard down, presenting numerous openings with each step. It was impossible for him to defend flawlessly. The relentless assault of the saber images continued, with Lu Feihu managing to block the first 18 but succumbing to the last 3. 3 saber lights inflicted bloody wounds on his chest. Despite the horrifying appearance, Lu Feihu's denser quintessence prevented fatal damage. However, before Lu Feihu could exhale a sigh of relief, the saber images linked together, creating a vast sea charged with electricity. A thunderous explosion followed, propelling Lu Feihu backward as he spewed large amounts of blood, surrounded by crackling electricity. The tables had turned abruptly, but the onslaught persisted. As Lu Feihu struggled on the ground, a strand of saber light aimed for his chest. At the critical moment, he exerted everything to twist his body. With a swift motion, the saber light severed Lu Feihu's right arm, and blood gushed out. Lying on the ground, writhing in pain, Lu Feihu was incapacitated. Witnessing this unexpected turn of events, Wang Feng, initially bewildered, questioned his own perception. How did Xiao Chen, seemingly feeble moments ago, transform into a dynamic force, swiftly changing the tide? Before Wang Feng could fully grasp the situation, Xiao Chen stood atop 3 azure dragon images, carrying the severed arm as he swiftly retreated toward Sky Mound City. Xiao Chen's speed left Wang Feng astonished, and even at full chase, Wang Feng struggled to keep up. With the lost initiative, catching Xiao Chen became an unattainable feat. Observing Lu Feihu's agonized state on the ground and Xiao Chen's successful escape, frustration gripped Wang Feng. A newcomer had outsmarted 2 Peak Rising Sky Pavilion Intersect disciples, extracting a hefty price from them. It was an unexpected and humiliating outcome. Maintaining his swift pace, Xiao Chen only breathed a sigh of relief upon reaching the outskirts of Sky Mound City. The swordsman he encountered emitted a dangerous aura, and defeating him at Xiao Chen's current cultivation would be challenging unless the swordsman made a careless mistake. Xiao Chen contemplated trouncing the opponent after consuming the quintessence gathering pill and refining his quintessence again, avoiding unnecessary risks. Arriving at the city gates, Xiao Chen glanced at the spatial ring from Lu Feihu's arm, a smirk playing on his lips. Deciding not to use the city's transportation formation immediately, he rented a quiet courtyard, ready to explore the contents of Lu Feihu's spatial ring. Carefully probing with his spiritual sense, Xiao Chen examined every nook and cranny within the spatial ring. Withdrawn his spiritual sense, he couldn't help but show a delighted expression. The loot included 1,000,000 superior-grade spirit stones, over 100 inferior-grade spirit-gathering pearls, a superior-grade quintessence gathering pill, rank 8 medicinal pills, spiritual heart pills, and various other valuable items. Grinning, Xiao Chen reflected on the cultivator with twin sabers, imagining the regret he must be feeling. Consolidating the spoils from the 7 black wind killers and Lu Feihu's spatial rings, Xiao Chen donned a cloak and exchanged miscellaneous items for even more superior-grade spirit stones, accumulating a total of about 1,800,000. Yet, the real treasure lay in the spirit-gathering pearls. With another 100-odd from Lu Feihu, Xiao Chen had enough to cultivate to peak inferior grade martial monarch. Pleased with his newfound wealth, Xiao Chen declared, "It's time to elevate my cultivation to peak inferior grade martial monarch." Heading to the cultivation room in the courtyard, Xiao Chen sat cross-legged, placing 4 spirit-gathering pearls on the Tianmen acupoint on his head. Having experienced the potency of spirit-gathering pearls as a martial king, Xiao Chen approached their use cautiously. After a deep breath, he began melting the 4 spirit-gathering pearls, preparing to rapidly advance his cultivation. Bang! 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 A torrential waterfall of spiritual liquid cascaded down as the 4 spirit-gathering pearls melted, releasing a horrifying surge of energy that permeated Xiao Chen's entire body. His internal organs shook incessantly, and the chaotic energy within threatened to make his body explode at any moment. Ordinary martial monarchs could only refine 1 inferior-grade spirit-gathering pearl at a time due to their physical limitations. Refining 4 simultaneously, as Xiao Chen did, would undoubtedly result in death for most. Aware of his limits, Xiao Chen believed his robust physical body could endure this process as long as he remained composed. Gritting his teeth, Xiao Chen endured the intense pain, maintaining his calm despite the excruciating ordeal. His body, drenched in sweat, showed the toll of this suffering. However, he pressed on, recognizing the urgency of the situation in a realm where any 2 medial-grade martial monarchs could force him to retreat and a superior-grade martial monarch could easily end him. After 5 agonizing minutes, the intense pain subsided. Xiao Chen breathed out, relaxing as he circulated the purple thunder divine incantation, extracting every bit of spiritual energy from the spirit-gathering pearls. After 10 cycles, the condensed spiritual energy formed a deep purple quintessence liquid that dropped into his dantian. Satisfied with the progress, Xiao Chen picked up another 4 spirit-gathering pearls and continued refining them. During the process, he estimated that he needed to condense a total of 120 drops of quintessence to reach peak inferior grade martial monarch. Despite the unexpected need for 150 spirit-gathering pearls, Xiao Chen persevered. 10 days later, having consumed a total of 150 spirit-gathering pearls, Xiao Chen's cultivation finally reached peak inferior grade martial monarch. While the quantity exceeded his expectations, he attributed it to the potency of the purple thunder divine incantation. The prospect of the 7th layer's rumored changes and a potential heavenly tribulation loomed in the Compendium of Cultivation, but Xiao Chen pushed these thoughts aside. Currently, his quintessence was robust, and his aura was plain and unassuming. With the cultivation of a peak inferior grade martial monarch, he appeared as if he had already consumed the quintessence gathering pill. With caution, Xiao Chen took out the superior grade quintessence gathering pill, examining it with a contemplative look as lingering spiritual energy wafted from the pill. Medicinal pills were classified into 9 ranks, with holy pills above rank 9, and the legendary immortal pills, sought even by sovereign martial emperors, were shrouded in uncertainty, existing solely as a legend. For medicinal pills reaching rank 8, their value became exceptional, with the superior grade quintessence gathering pill standing as a pinnacle among rank 8 medicinal pills. This coveted pill could be purchased within the inner city of the Supreme Sky Sect for 200,000 superior grade spirit stones. If sold in an external auction house, it could command a price ranging from 7 to 800,000 superior grade spirit stones. Sect restrictions, however, posed challenges for inner sect disciples seeking to obtain extra pills for external sale. Focused, Xiao Chen placed the superior grade quintessence gathering pill into his mouth. As it entered, the pill melted into a cooling liquid, gliding down his throat and leaving an intense comfort in its wake, prompting a soft moan from him. Kai. Yet, as the liquid reached his dantian, an abrupt burning sensation surged violently. The initial comfort swiftly transformed into extreme pain. The liquefied medicinal pill nourished the pearly quintessence drops, causing them to sizzle and emit steam. Xiao Chen's body felt as though it were aflame, the fire permeating his bones, marrow, blood, and muscles. The pain contorted his face, rendering him almost inhuman. He questioned why no one had ever mentioned the intense pain accompanying the consumption of the quintessence gathering pill. Clenching his teeth tightly, Xiao Chen ground them together loudly, harboring doubts about the endurance of many in the face of such excruciating pain. Xiao Chen reflected on the situation. The pain from the spirit-gathering pearl paled in comparison to the current agony. Frustrated, he pondered whether the heightened suffering was a result of consuming a superior-grade quintessence gathering pill. He questioned why the store owner hadn't provided a warning, considering the substantial cost of the purchase. The fear of failure loomed, threatening to render his investment of 200,000 superior-grade spirit stones futile. In truth, Xiao Chen had misunderstood the store owner. The issue lay in the uniqueness of his own body. Regular cultivators didn't pre-refine their quintessence due to the high difficulty and time-consuming nature of the process. Moreover, the aftermath involved enduring unbearable pain, much like what Xiao Chen was experiencing with the quintessence gathering pill. In the vast Tianwu domain, countless individuals had contemplated refining their quintessence beforehand before consuming the quintessence gathering pill, and Xiao Chen was not the first to entertain such an idea. Yet, the majority attempting this failed to withstand the agonizing ordeal induced by the quintessence gathering pill, resulting in unsuccessful breakthroughs. The higher the caliber of the cultivation technique, the greater the endured pain. In severe cases, death could ensue, while less critical instances led to crippled cultivation. Only a handful of prodigies endured the entire process. Had Xiao Chen not immersed himself in cultivation and instead listened to the elders' lectures, he would have learned about this in the first lecture. Unaware of these details, Xiao Chen attributed his success to the superior-grade quintessence gathering pill, enduring the process bitterly. Fortunately, his physical body gave him an edge, as few in his generation possessed such strength. Xiao Chen faced the challenge with determination, relying on his robust physicality. His willpower and a chance at success hinged on enduring the excruciating pain. Otherwise, even a strong physical body would be merely decorative if defeated in the heart. Enduring was crucial for Xiao Chen. Otherwise, much time would be wasted. The intense pain blurred his thoughts, leaving only instinct to endure. As the quintessence gathering pill burned, drops of quintessence fused, accompanied by intense pain. Xiao Chen, fearing biting his tongue, endured silently. After an unknown duration, as his consciousness waned, the pain abruptly ceased. Xiao Chen fell into a deep, dreamless sleep, awakening 3 days later feeling lighter but sturdier. Experiencing cracking sounds as he stretched, Xiao Chen felt a newfound strength. Clenching his fist, he circulated quintessence, unleashing a thunderous force. The energy, tripled for ordinary people, quintupled for Xiao Chen due to refining his quintessence previously. Overjoyed, he questioned, could I have succeeded? Examining his dantian, he confirmed success with 30 smaller, intense drops of quintessence. Triumphantly, he exclaimed, ha ha ha. It really succeeded. Filled with joy, Xiao Chen exited the cultivation room and stepped into the courtyard, eager to assess the effects of his rebirth. Unaware that he had achieved a height few had reached in the past 1,000 years, he assumed the pain accompanying the consumption of a superior-grade quintessence gathering pill was a universal experience. Fist winds echoed, and strands of quintessence exploded on the tip of Xiao Chen's fist. The surrounding air surged and compressed under the explosive force. The ground seemed like it would sink. It shook left and right like an earthquake. Satisfied with the results, Xiao Chen expressed confidence in facing the Rising Sky Pavilion duo, no longer needing to feign weakness. He believed he had a 70% chance of defeating them in direct combat. Gui Wu and his group were no longer a concern. Even if 6 or 7 people collaborated, Xiao Chen was confident in beating them until they no longer dared to harass him. After concluding his testing, Xiao Chen calmed himself, absorbing the remnant quintessence in the courtyard. Ready to return to the Supreme Sky Sect, he hurried towards the city's transportation formation. The atmosphere in the streets struck him as peculiar, with cultivators flying in the same direction, an unusual sight given the quintessence consumption in the Kunlun realm. Hearing scattered conversations in the air, Xiao Chen grasped the situation. an upcoming challenge between Ren Hua, a ninth Battle Realm genius, and Feng Xingsheng, a top bladesman. The recent fame of young talents in the 10 great battle realms intrigued him, especially considering their innate strength and natural disposition for war. Despite the rapid rise of these geniuses, Feng Xingsheng's reputation stood out. Xiao Chen, after spending considerable time in the Tianwu domain, expressed interest in witnessing a genuine battle among the younger generation, anticipating the clash between a lower realm genius and a local expert with significant backgrounds, attracting widespread attention. In a last-minute decision, Xiao Chen abandoned the immediate return and opted to join the excitement, eager to learn from the exchange between two experts of the same generation and broaden his horizons. Ren Hua vs Feng Xingsheng, the top genius of the 9th Battle Realm against the top bladesman of the 18 southern provinces, who ranks second to the 7 giants in the Proud Son of Heaven ranking. The fervor surrounding their impending battle surpassed Xiao Chen's expectations. Almost all the martial monarchs and higher-ups in Skymound City flocked to witness it, even drawing many martial kings traveling by land. The crowd heading to the nearby 9 sword peaks seemed endless. Arriving at the location, Xiao Chen observed 9 mountain peaks on flat plains, resembling treasured swords pointing at the sky, 9 sword peaks. Learning that it was a holy ground for duels, he discovered the unique environment made it ideal for young experts' duels, with past battles slicing several kilometers off the tall peaks. As Xiao Chen joined the crowd, he noticed 4 or 5 stout figures standing on one of the peaks, emanating a ferocious aura reminiscent of wild beasts. Even before the fight began, their merged auras surged towards the sky, creating an atmosphere of an imminent great battle. Commenting on the camaraderie among the geniuses of the 10 great battle realms present, Xiao Chen marveled at their unity, excluding those in closed-door cultivation. "I've heard that those from the battle realms are the most united. Judging by today's scene, it seems this rumor holds true. Indeed, that's why no one randomly provokes individuals from the battle realms. They were already considered madmen, and now, they've formed a formidable alliance. That makes them even more intimidating. Ha ha, even those stronger than them might get a headache dealing with such a group." Beside Xiao Chen, a group of local cultivators engaged in a relaxed discussion, acknowledging the perceived unity among the battle realm individuals. Sonic booms resonated, drawing everyone's attention as a figure flew in from the west. Slim with a stern face, this person held a saber in his left hand, dressed in simple and clean long blue robes. Landing on a mountain peak, his gaze swept the surroundings, dispersing the faint fog with a single glance. Feng Xingsheng is here. The excited crowd, consisting of over 1,000 martial monarchs in the sky and numerous cultivators on the land below, eagerly awaited the unfolding spectacle. Observing Feng Xingsheng's arrival, Xiao Chen raised his eyebrows, impressed by the powerful saber intent emanating from the top bladesmen of the 18 southern provinces. Feng Xingsheng, acknowledging the battle realm individuals separated by 3 mountain peaks, couldn't hide a proud expression. Indifferently, he addressed Ren Hua, bringing so many people. "Are you planning a group battle?" Upon Feng Xingsheng's words, other battle realm geniuses scattered, leaving only the formidable Ren Hua. "Ha ha ha. Feng Xingsheng, you overrate yourself. Do I even need my brothers to work together to deal with you?" Ren Hua released his aura, laughing loudly with boundless tyranny and arrogance. His laughter echoed in the mountain peaks, transforming into a howling gust of wind. The clouds parted, and Feng Xingsheng's robes fluttered loudly, creating explosive sounds with each flap. Pa, pa, pa. Explosions resonated from Feng Xingsheng's flapping robes, causing the air to tremble and rocks on the mountain peaks to tumble. The crowd marveled at Ren Hua's power, astonished by the might unleashed with just a few words. The density of his quintessence and the surging sound waves demonstrated his exceptional strength. As the exchange unfolded, Feng Xingsheng stood calmly amidst the powerful display. Xiao Chen, watching the spectacle, was surprised by the simple yet impactful confrontation. Ren Hua, a late-stage medial-grade martial monarch, exhibited flexibility and quintessence strength surpassing Xiao Chen's by several folds.